to another episode of Dallas Spotlight. I am the bodyguard, and of course, you guys know I'm the host with the most equipment. So, if you're tuning in, we greatly appreciate you guys. Don't hesitate to tap that like button and, pretty much show us some love, man. We'll do it for you. So, yeah, one hand washes the other. All right, today I am joined by two good friends of mine, right? If you guys have been taking a look at our page, and you probably have seen some of the photos that we've recently dropped, right? They came into the photo shoot with me. It was a hell of a time. Really enjoyed kicking it with them, right? Looking forward to hanging out with them a little later on, right? Possibly get together and do some business, right? They have just recently dropped a book, right? So not only are they insurance moguls, but they are also authors, right? And they also have a nonprofit agency that they're looking to use to help grow and instill core values in many of the women who might possibly need a place to go where they can feel belonged. All right. Today I have in studio with me Dr. Skye, and of course you guys know my good friend Miss Kristyn.
Hello. Oh my gosh, first of all, look at the set. The set is freaking amazing.
This is fabulous.
Yes.
Yeah.
With the color scheme, got the blue, got the pink, and the amazing photo shoot that they did for us. That was a lot of fun. Look how good we look, girl.
We look fabulous. If I must say so myself, looking fabulous.
Yes.
Love it.
So thank you for having us back, Charles. Like, you and your crew, like, y'all are just so amazing. And it's just such a blessing. Like, you never know. I mean, we kind of talked about this last time, but you just never know where God's taking you in life, right? And like, just, it's so cool. Like, somebody you went to school with, and just you went on your life path, and then how like our careers are like segueing together, and we're just having a lot of fun. And that's one thing that Skye and I talk about all the time, and all the things that we do. We have to have fun.
We gotta have fun. Life is meant to be enjoyed.
Amen.
And so it is a joy and our pleasure to be here. You have such a phenomenal studio, and just the professionalism, the warmth, and welcoming us here. It's an honor. It is truly an honor to be here.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Well, we are glad you guys came spend some time with me. So let's go ahead and dive right into it.
Okay.
All right. Miss Kristyn, we always love having you on. So we're going to go ahead and start with you, right? If you would, tell us a little bit about yourself. And then we'll dive into the rest of the stuff a little bit more later on.
Sure. So, not to be too redundant from the last time I was on here, but just a little bit about myself. I'm a mom, 2 boys. One's about to be 19 and the other one's 15. And that's my greatest role in life, is just steering those 2 young men in the right direction. Also, together with Skye, we operate an insurance brokerage firm. We also head a women's nonprofit group that has a serious mission and what we're doing there. And just ultimately love to help other people find their own passion in their lives. And like you were saying, like, life is meant to be enjoyed. Like, if that's what we want to give people, right? The gift to, and together we have, our friendship has been beautiful, because you've healed me in a lot of ways that I didn't even know I needed.
Likewise.
Yes. So, just that's it. That's our purpose, our mission. And obviously the nonprofit is a nonprofit, right? So we also operate the business for our, to feed our families, and also to give lots of people opportunities to work within our agency. We're always looking for people that are looking for a pathway to get into the insurance industry. And we have covered a lot of great basis as a company to have a safe place for women and men to come and work.
Absolutely.
All right. And Dr. Skye, if you would, please.
Yeah, thank you so much. Well, just to, without boring anyone, I have previously, before I joined with Kristyn, I was always very, very just impressed with her and how she's able to be this multi-entrepreneur and just who she is in the financial space. And then also starting the nonprofit. And, I came along and I became the vice president of the nonprofit that Kristyn is the president of. And she didn't say that. But she did. She asked me to come aboard and to be a part of it and to help it, grow the nonprofit and things like that. But just backing up a little bit, I have, sat in executive rooms before and nonprofit leadership spaces and things like that, and just kept seeing the same gap. I would see, brilliant women leading organizations and things like that, but not necessarily having the financial literacy or the financial empowerment needed, even in their personal lives. And so that is one of the reasons why Kristyn was always my friend. And at the core, we are friends first. But that was one of the reasons why I knew that I had to be a part of what Kristyn was doing. And then, one thing led to another, and we have just been able to expand and, co-author together and run the nonprofit and business, like she said. And so I'm grateful because who she is and who I am, like together, we're a dynamic duo, y'all. I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say it. We're always kind of downplaying ourselves all the time, but we think in this season, it is important for us to stand in our strength so that we can be a strength to, for other women and help them. So. Yeah, that's
hallelujah, girl. I'm about to jump out and start praising. Yes, that's it.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Well, one thing I want to shed some light on is I would like to shed light on this the legacy leadership women's building wealth for generations, right? Because I think that this is something that is very, very, very important, right? It's kind of hard to be a good leader without first learning to support others around you, right? It's just one of those, and for those who are watching, you have an opportunity to scan that QR code, right? And I'm pretty sure it'll take you to a place where you can learn everything you need to know.
Amen.
Right?
Yes.
So, yes, I just would like to always highlight people who are doing good things in the community, people who have good intentions, and they take care of those around them. It's just a situation where one hand washes the other, right?
Yes.
But we all understand that we're here to provide good, strong support to each other. Mm-hmm. And I feel like you guys are some of the best at doing that. I mean, I've seen you guys go out of your way to help people, right? And in return, it looks like God is sending those blessings right back your way.
Amen.
So, yeah. Let's go ahead and get you guys up on screen. Okay.
Amen.
Of course, you guys know how it goes, right? I got a few things that I want to know, right?
What do you want to know? We have answers.
Yes, answers for days.
We have answers.
Okay. Cool. All right. So, yeah, we talked about who you guys are, right? And we talked about what you guys have founded and put together, right?
Yeah.
Could you give us a few of those core values and possibly tell us a little bit about what legacy means to you?
You want to start?
Well, I would say, thank you so much.
That was a deep question.
Yeah, that was a deep question. And I like what you said about one hand washes another. And one of the things that we like to talk about and we say to each other is that iron sharpens iron. Absolutely. And so we really, really believe that. And, as it relates to legacy, legacy isn't about what you leave behind. I think a lot of people just think that legacy is all about what you leave behind, but it's about what you build while you're still here. And so that's one of the things that I would like to say about it.
That's so true. Yes, building what we're building here. And I've personally gone through many different mental transitions in my life. I would say mental health is a big thing that I want to help women with through the things that I've experienced. And, sometimes your experiences might not seem like important, but then the older I get, I'll just speak for myself, the older I get, the more I realize that those experiences have made me somebody, and I can help other women that are maybe going through similar things and get them to that. But yeah, it's what we're doing while we're alive, what we're building, because if sometimes I think about, like, we want to change the world, right? I mean, not that the world necessarily needs a full change, but like it's like we have these big ideas and big goals of what we're trying to do. But I told myself, like, recently, Kristyn, if you open one women's center and you only help 10 women a year, that is 10 women a year.
That's a lot.
And that's what I can do, right? And I'm a big believer, like, it all starts in your home, right? It's like, if my home is not a peaceful place, a place where people would want to be, or like where I even want to be, how am I going to go impact the world, right? So I love that you said that. Like, the legacy is being built while we're alive. Yes, hopefully it lives on past our life, but it is while we're alive. That was big. I love that you said that.
Right. And, I think that was so great. I totally agree with what Kristyn said. And also, wealth without wisdom disappears. So legacy is when both last. And so that's, something that we truly believe in.
Absolutely. And the book was not written so much to inspire as it was to activate people.
Yes.
And, I remember the point in my life where and we kind of had this conversation on the way here, like, there is no Superman coming to save anybody.
Right. Ain't no cape. No cape. Don't wait. Don't sit and wait on the cape for them to come, because he ain't coming.
Hold your breath.
Superman ain't coming, y'all.
Yes.
So just, you have to be in a position to save yourself and to be strengthened and empowered. And I'm just teasing about that. I mean, I know we still want to believe that, so I don't want to discourage anyone as it relates to Superman ain't coming, but I will say, empower yourself anyway, even if you're still waiting on him. Empower yourself,
Be that woman that stands up and makes the decision and understands it's me. It's all me all day. Win or fail, it's me.
Yes.
Right. I think it's one of those situations where it's like, I look at that type of stuff like a job. Right.
Yeah.
When I step in to do a job, or I go in to work for someone, right? Because a relationship is just work, right? But when I apply for a job, I have to make myself meet those qualifications.
Sure.
Right. And I understand that if I'm expecting anybody to pick me up and carry me, then I'm dead weight.
Yes.
Right. So one thing that I've always appreciated about, watching Kristyn and for the time that I've known her is that she has never been one to be, I guess I would have to say, carried. Right? She always has something to offer. She always brings something to the table. She always seems like she knows what she's doing, even in those times where she might not. She at least looks like it. And
the Blazers don't.
I would say that I greatly appreciate that about her.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I would, say that as well. And one of the things that I always tell Kristyn is that she has such a large capacity. I mean, she has this robust capacity to take on different things, to lead. And this is one of the reasons why that I was just blown away from the moment we became friends. Just seeing her business acumen, seeing her in different industries and different sectors, and how she was just able to thrive. The one big thing that I think that's instrumental in just something that I noticed and observed was that although Kristyn knows a lot, she is doing personal development, educating herself, going out, learning, going to, masterminds or of sorts, and doing doing whatever it takes to keep up with the with what's going on in society, and those things are important. So I've just seen you develop yourself, like personally, professionally, doing that. Even though you've already, what I think she's already arrived, y'all, but I've just seen her. I mean, but Kristyn, like I'm gonna tell you how it is too, though, right?
You do,
I'm gonna be
and I appreciate it.
This is not because we on here today. Kristyn knows, like,
100%.
I'm very, very.
Pull that big sister card real quick.
I pull that big sister. I'm like, listen, you my little sister, honey, and I love you, and this is that, and it's always good stuff. And so she is, and I think. And that's one of the things I think that is been your secret sauce in success is being, that professional, personal development, things like that. And this is why we're able to do this because you're doing that, constantly developing yourself. Then you have the tools to bring to these women, and it's not just something that you're imparting, but something that you're living.
Amen. Because it's so much more than, to me, like work or business. It's ownership of my life.
Yeah.
You own your life. And that, I mean, when we met, like, it was over a transaction, which I believe is what caused us to start trusting each other pretty quickly, right? Like,
we did business.
We did business.
We did business. Two business women. Yeah.
And I admire her so much. She was leading a huge medical facility when I met her. She's a PhD. I mean, she's very educated and just smart and classy and compassionate. Like, and I'm just, I still look up to you, of course, so much, but I just really appreciate being seen, and you validate me a lot. And it's like what we've been able to build together, and with the business and with the nonprofit, it's like giving that back to other women. That is a gift, right? If we can get other sisters to be able to come together and also develop things and get on their own 2 feet, and great if we love men, right?
We love us some men. Now let me just say that. We love us some men.
So we want the women to have some healthy relationships and help them develop spiritually and mentally. Like, and I appreciate you saying that, but I know that I never arrive, right? Like, I mean, that's God's place, right? And every day there's just learning and growing, and we pray God send us your people, and we will do our best, and we just want to do our best for the people that He presents in front of us.
And it's something. Thank you. And it's something that I hear you saying that. I've heard you say those prayers, and and I think that's so beautiful. As we're serving in Think Pink Soul Sanctuary, as board leadership. We have prayers behind us, and of course we welcome anyone of all different faiths. But just to know that this nonprofit prayers are always going out.
Yes.
We're always strategizing and being mindful of what we can do to make this nonprofit better. And,
Absolutely. Every day.
Sometimes, Kristyn, she has like 1,000 ideas that she's going to do today. And I'm like, okay, Kristyn, now hold on, love. Hey, hold on, hang on. But I tell you, when I look up, she's gotten a lot of those things done. And I'm like, woo, okay. And so it is just so great to continue to grow in this space, and we're having fun.
Yes.
We're having fun, and we talk about finances, but we also know that fun is important. So that's something that we.
The whole thing is your life. The whole thing's your life. All of it. So enjoy it.
All of it.
But fun is the name of the game,
Amen.
right?
Fun is the name of the game.
What are we doing?
What are we doing if we ain't having fun?
If we're not?
Because I'm not in it. If I'm not going to have fun, listen, count me out.
Right. Like,
out.
I'd rather go to sleep.
what's the point of it all?
Right.
Like, if we're not going to have fun, if we're not going to enjoy ourselves while we're doing this, why do it?
Yeah.
But let me just say this too, to add to that, you got to have your freedom though to have fun.
True.
Right.
And if you ain't free, we're talking about financial freedom. If you're not free, it is very hard to have fun.
Yep.
And so
my.
we know
Yes.
that goes hand in hand.
So many different facets to freedom out there, right? And
Yeah.
that's why I wanted you guys to come on here, because I feel like what you guys are offering is a chance to teach someone to step away.
Yes.
Right? Because I hate to say it, but we ain't learning this in school. We're not, some of us don't have parents who are affluent enough to teach it to us at home.
Yeah.
So these type of things like this, it's a lot of people who are asking, well, how did you do such and such? But when you tell them, they don't want to learn. So I do stuff like this to give people an opportunity to get it straight from the horse's mouth.
That's right.
Like, it's not as easy as it looks.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as simple. It's like, well, when we're kids in school, right? Every once in a while, you might look over on somebody else's paper, right?
Okay.
But shouts out to Greg. These definitely are two powerful women, sir. But you can look on somebody else's paper, right? And you can kind of get it right some of the time, right? But when it comes down to it, if you don't put yourself in a position with the right people around you, then you can't build consistency.
That's it.
And consistency is one of those words for me that goes hand in hand with legacy.
Yes.
Because when we think about building a legacy, part of it is what you leave behind, right? But it's definitely what people say about you right now.
Amen.
Right down.
Right? Right now.
Right
Can
now.
I count on you to do what you said you're going to do? Do I see in you a consistent structure that gives me the ability to believe you're going to do what you tell me?
There you go.
Absolutely.
So I love it. I get behind what you guys are doing 100%.
Yeah.
Right? If I have the time, then I am going to make myself available so that we can push this further, because I feel like it's one of those things that needs to be available. It's not easy.
It's not. It's not easy. Life is not easy. My son, like I said, is about to be 19. The other one's 15. And the other day, the younger one, he was like, Mom, life is hard. Like, life isn't easy. And I'm like, I know, baby. Especially when you're a young person transitioning into adulthood, right? It's like one day you're just an adult. No, you still don't know anything. Like, I mean, not nothing, but
Right.
So anyways, absolutely. Like, I don't know. And I wanted to say, like, when you were talking about consistency, like, I'm going to put this at like a global level, right? So if we're talking about being consistent, what would that mean for the world if we were consistent? Think about power, right? Like, there's so much power shifting in the world right now, some good, some bad, right? And so, I feel like power is consistency. If we can consistently do things, which for us, the first thing is praise God. Give God his glory.
Amen.
God is the creator of, I don't care where you're from, what you practice, what you believe. I always say this, like, in the morning I see the sunrise and in the evening I see the sunset, and I always tell myself, you didn't do that, Kristyn. You did not do that. You did not put the sun in the sky.
That's good.
Yes. And so if we can root ourselves into a higher power that created us, that also creates relief off of us, because we don't have to we're going to talk about that in the car too. Like, we put pressure on ourselves to be a certain way, to show up a certain way for people because we think that's how they want us to be.
Right.
No, if we can consistently show up as the person that we feel and we know God created us to be, and we feel aligned in that, it comes from your belly, right? And we were talking about this too. Like, it's like when I feel strong in my belly and my core, I trust myself. There's an alignment, and I just imagine God's light shining straight through my head all the way down and just letting it come out of everywhere. And it's like we could all get in touch with that.
That's powerful.
But we can do that at a smaller level with these women that we're working
Yes,
with.
that is powerful. And that is, really, really good stuff, Kristyn. I agree with that. I think one of the things that is important that we really, really want to be one of the takeaways from this moment today is that financial literacy is not optional anymore. I mean, it's just not optional because we all need it. We all need financial literacy. I mean, it's a part of survival.
Mm-hmm.
If we're not learning what we need to learn and becoming financially literate and empowered, then, it's a chance that we'll get left behind. One of the things that we wanted to do with our book is to make sure that it was something that people could digest, that it was easy for it to digest. This is a start, right? So this book is a start, just somewhere that you can could read and say, okay, I'm at least taking the first step. Maybe you've thought about taking some steps, but this is like, I can at least take some first steps towards, making sure that I am learning and being intentional, because that's a part of it too, is being intentional about, becoming financially literate.
Yes.
So
Absolutely. It's everything.
Right.
It's going back to that moment where you stand up and you just take responsibility and you learn. And you know that you don't know what you don't know, but there's a group of women right here helping you learn everything you need to learn.
How hard is that? How hard is it to admit when you don't know something?
So hard.
it can be challenging.
Yes.
Yeah, it could be challenging. But that's when I realized I had just a little bit of wisdom, when I realized I didn't know it all. Right. When you're like, teenager or something, you just think you know everything and all
Right.
that.
That's one of those things that my father instilled in me earlier. And I hate to say it, but it was kind of like a reverse psychology type deal.
Yeah.
He would tell me, a smart man thinks he knows everything.
Yes.
Right? A dumb man thinks he can do anything. But a wise man knows he knows nothing at all.
Amen.
Love
And
that.
I don't know.
Very well stated.
I don't know what book he got that out of, because my dad is he's a very well-read man, the military guy. So, those guys, they got to have something up there in that head, right?
Love that.
But it kind of put things into perspective on me and made me decide, what type of man did I want to be?
There you go.
Do I want to be the wise man? Do I want to be the smart man? Do I want to be the dumb man? Because, I hate to say it, but when you look at it, there's some benefits to being a dumb man, right?
Yeah.
And
ignorance is bliss, right?
And I'm gonna give you one right now, right? I don't know anybody more courageous than a dumb man.
Wow, that's so profound.
They will jump out there. You know what I'm saying? They will go for it. I know some guys who didn't know anything about anything that they're working in their field currently right now. And these guys are sitting at the top in their industry.
Wow. I've seen it.
And even though they may be dumb, so to speak, or what we would classify as dumb when it comes to their subject matter or their industry that they're working in, they were smart enough to know who to put into place to get where they were going, right? But that takes risk.
It does.
It takes willpower. It takes almost an invincibility attitude.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, that's dumb, so to speak. Now, I'm not saying these guys are inadequate. I'm not saying none of that, right? I'm saying that in their minds, they ignore mortality. Like they're going to go for it, right? So I think that's a hell of a benefit. And I run into some of the guys like that all the time in the gym.
Yeah.
Right?
Why in the gym?
Why in the gym? Because a lot of men think they can fight better than they actually can, right?
Well, I have to say, to what you said too, there's something to be said about like a man that thinks he knows everything. That's ego. A man that doesn't think that he knows anything. That's humility.
Yes.
Right.
And that's the difference. That's the differentiator. And we stay in humility. We stay ready to say, maybe we made a mistake, or but that's the great thing about working in groups, because it takes so much pressure off it being my decision or Skye's decision. Like, we sit on
that is so true. Yeah. That is really a great point. And I think what you're saying about some of the guys that are quote unquote dumb, it does speak to believing in yourself. It's, they may not have this, academically, or maybe they don't know all of the, maybe they don't have expertise in their industry or whatever industry they're going after. But it's just like the Bible says, you just have enough faith. Faith is as small as a mustard seed. All you need is a little bit of faith.
Yeah.
And so, and belief. They believed. A lot of times you can have the knowledge, but if you're not believing that you can change your life, or that your life will transform, and that you can do it, then that, that's everything. And then something else that I noticed about what you said about these guys, it's not enough to, people, it's not enough to gather information, but you have to execute. They executed
Right.
information. So they had execution.
My man Greg say,
Yeah.
ignorance on fire is better than intelligence on ice.
That's it.
Ooh,
That's
okay,
it.
Greg.
I love that. I love that. Well stated. And so,
I hear you.
so they had the
Well said.
faith, the belief, and the execution. And so, yes, you can have all the tools in the world, and those are important pieces. So thank you. So thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah, thank you. That was
Right.
deep.
So, it's just about learning how to use the tools that you have around you and taking
Absolutely.
advantage of the knowledge that's being given to you.
Yep.
I hate to say it, but one of the best things that I learned to do was listen with my mouth closed.
That's
And
right.
that's every room I walk into. Today I'm in my own space, right? I'm in this is my studio space that I built, put this together, right? I'm still growing it as I'm going. But today I had two very important people walk in, right, that are in my industry. Now these guys are they're like top tier guys. Like some of the stuff they're producing, like these guys are the Netflix guys. They are the Amazon Prime guys.
powerful.
Like you've definitely watched something from some of these guys, like, and probably didn't even know it. Well, of course you didn't, but but I did, But they were sitting in this studio space with me, and I just was like a sponge.
Yes.
You're teachable.
I was sitting in there learning everything that they had to offer and everything. And it just, because I always think about those times where it's like, well, what if I never get this opportunity again? Am I going to mess it up by saying something stupid? Like, is it, what should I do in this situation? And I've learned that listening is always the best thing to do.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You can't lose.
Absolutely. And, amongst, Kristyn and I, between the two of us, I'm sure we've paid a small fortune to learn, attending just so much professional and personal development, but we're still learning, right? We're still learning. And so that's the thing. Just like you said, whether it's formal learning, whether it's being amongst, peers in the industry, things like that. I too sit at the feet of other people that know and have knowledge and wisdom. And so I think staying teachable, coachable, in this day and time is essential for success. It's essential.
Absolutely. I completely agree. Completely agree. So would you guys like to tell us about a time where you kind of watched your eggs and thought they were going to hatch a little bit too fast, and found out you had to pump the brakes? Because, it's easy to sit here and look at you guys well-dressed, makeup done, probably pulled up in the nicest car, right?
I just got me a new car.
Right.
It's tired.
So we can look and see your results, right? So what you're doing is obviously working, right? But would you guys like to talk to us a little bit about some times where you kind of didn't know if it was gonna, pan out?
Such is life. I mean, I'm thinking of like 10 off the top of my head. You got something that could be right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a grind to get here. But I mean, and you can use the word grind, hustle, hard work, sweat equity, whatever, right? I mean, there's been times, I mean, let me put it this way. If you're an entrepreneur in your business and you have business partnerships, that alone is scary.
Yeah.
So it's a commitment, right? It is it's a covenant. I love the way she told me this. She said, business partnerships are a covenant. And I never looked at it that way, ever. But truly, you are you're expecting things, right? And of course, hopefully you have a partnership agreement, you agree to everything in there, get everything in writing. But just I would say in general, starting a business with somebody that you were just trusting to pull their share of the weight or deliver what they're saying that they'll contribute to this growth. There have been times in business where I was left carrying everything. And so, you know, I would say like, just in business, that has happened to me a couple of times, but it's never a loss. It's always a lesson. And when your faith is rooted in God or your whatever your faith is, you just know like he's gonna get you through. I always give thanks for my daily bread. Thanks, Lord, I ate today. Like tomorrow's tomorrow. Like I ain't really like, and I wasn't always like this, but saying that prayer repeatedly has helped me stay grounded. But I would just say business ventures and partnerships have sometimes left me in a situation where I might not have chosen to be.
Yes. You know, not this partnership. Let me clarify.
You know me, I think you're speaking more so to the letdowns and, you know, the people not doing what they told you were going to do and, you know, all that kind of the setbacks and, you know, the unforeseens, I forgot to plan fors, you know, all that type of stuff. Right. But at the end of the day, for me, I always appreciate those situations. Yeah. Because I can't confidently say that had I not experienced those things, I would have turned out to be who I am.
Right. That is absolutely true.
So I am grateful for my successes just as much as I am my stripes. Right. Because that gave me the opportunity to build. You remember when we was in high school and I was always in the weight room?
Yeah, man.
Right.
And Charles.
Right. And people would just say, they would ask me, why are you always in the weight room? I say, because I feel good. If you ever want to know how Charles is feeling about himself, just take a look at his body.
Oh, that's right. I claim that too.
At the end of the day, we all make investments in things that we care about. Yes, right? I don't think there's anything more important that you have to give other than your time.
Yes.
It's the one thing you can't get back.
No reversing it. Nope.
Right. Can't get that time back. We watching people reacquire their looks. We're watching people reacquire situations, money, everything. You could go get that stuff back, right? At that time. It's a limited amount of it.
It is.
So I appreciate each one of those time frames that allowed me to build strength in myself. Yeah. So
no,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, you know, and as you all are saying that, you know, I think of so many things. I think as a third generation businesswoman, my maternal grandmother was a business owner, and she ran a business in the business industry, and I saw how she conducted business with her clients, with vendors, things like that. And then I learned, and so I would see the challenges she went through, her wins, her losses, more wins than losses. But she did that over a span of like almost 40 years. And then my mother, as a businesswoman, she's still a businesswoman. I've seen her and her wins and her losses and her growth. And I worked in certain aspects of business with my mom. So I learned a lot. So those were really great training grounds for me. So anytime now that I'm faced with any type of obstacle, first of all, this is the first partnership, like true partnership that I've ever had. And it's been wonderful. You know, we have our projections and things like that. One of the things that I have learned in this season is to really allow God to order our steps and how He wants to do this with the nonprofit, with the business, with all the things. And we have a lot of faith, but we are working our faith. Amen. Right? Absolutely. You can't just have faith.
Every day.
That should be chapter 1. That's where to start. You get that part right, you can conquer anything.
Yeah. So thank you, Joyce. So we are working that. But if something, if something didn't necessarily go the way I thought or envision it to go, or what other people may look at as a loss, one of my favorite quotes is from the late Nelson Mandela. He says, I never lose. I either win or I learn. That is the biggest thing. That just having that, I hold on to that. So no matter what we go through, what we've gone through, what is to come, I know I'm going to learn something from that. And we're going to be able to capitalize off of that and thrive, So that's just what I believe.
Absolutely.
Right. And those are good, strong core values. And I think that you don't know until you hear it, right?
That's true.
But you gotta. It's one of those things like I was talking about earlier, right? You gotta just go. You gotta just go.
Yeah.
Right? If you never go, like how many times have you went somewhere and it massively paid off, right?
Oh, yeah.
You was like, dang, I almost didn't even go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
I gotta keep up with Kristyn. I'm like that all the time. She's like, "Girl, we gonna be here. We got it. This is on our calendar." I'm like, because Kristyn is, she is a little bit more extroverted than I am. Well, I'm an introvert, and so I'm always like this. So what you're talking about, that happens all the time. It's like, I'm like, okay, well, I'll be there. Let's do this, that, and I look up and something's on my calendar, and we'll do it,
Yes.
but I love people. I love women. I have a heart for women and a heart for people and things like that. But, I'm just a little introvert and a little bookworm, and I sit somewhere in the corner and I'm good. But this one right here, this woman will have us in different places and spaces, but then it's necessary.
It pays off.
It pays off. It's just what y'all are saying. It will pay off. And so
got to shake them hands and kiss them babies.
Yes.
I'm not reluctant at all. It's just,
No, she's a blessing. I love, she doesn't want me to pick her up all the time. I'm like, come on, you look so good in my passenger seat.
I do. Yeah, but she do. And,
we just two roll. I love it.
No, never know what kind of vehicle she's going to show up in, but we'll zoom around. Yes, all the things. And so it does pay off
It does.
to answer that, to add. Yes.
And God doesn't want, everyone has a different call and purpose, but it's like, for me, I feel like God is like, I'm using you. You need to go where people are. Like,
yes.
Right.
help people in your bed.
You can't help them in your bed. Yeah.
Right.
That's right.
That's one of the properties that I had to learn very recently, right? It's like I got this problem. Baby calls it my gear monster, right? She says I have a gear monster that's, eating up all my funds, right? And I told her, I need this, I need that, I need this, I need that. And she asked me, how do you know? Right? Because if I'm sitting here by myself hoarding all this gear and I never put myself in a situation to test my gear, then how do I know what I don't have?
Love that.
And,
Interesting.
sometimes I hate when she's right.
She be right.
Sometimes I love it. And that was one of those situations where I absolutely loved it because it spawned me to get out of my shell. I'm kind of introverted too. I mean, it takes a lot of time to learn the stuff that I know, right?
Yes.
And a lot of speakers a lot of public facing people are introverts. Yeah, so I don't think it's uncommon at all. But, once I show up, I love it.
Yeah.
Now, once I show up, but it's just, before showing up. But once I show up, I absolutely love it. I love Kristyn and I mean, we can travel together, do everything together, love being in each other's presence. And it's always a beautiful time. It's just the getting there.
Getting the energy.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Just don't look for me in the next 2 or 3 days. You know what I'm saying?
Because you have to go recharge.
That is true.
You're an introvert, you have to recharge. You're not shy.
Well, energy is so real. Like I'm going to share this. So one thing I noticed about Skye is she would wear dark sunglasses sometimes, but I love the way she did it. She always did it in a classy way. It wasn't because for me, I told you, if I'm doing a business transaction with a person that won't take off their glasses, for me that's a red flag. I am not going to do business with you if I cannot look you in the eye. I can't do that. But Skye's not like that. That's not how she does it. She says they are gates because everybody doesn't deserve to look into your soul, right? And I mean, and if you go into a place with a lot of people and a lot of energy, everyone's energy, let's be real and honest, like we're good people, we're compassionate, we want to help everybody. Everybody's energy is not good, right?
Oh,
I mean, and so we're here for those people that want to figure out how to get their energy correct and do these things. Like, so it's not a judgment, but I'm with you too. If I go to some gatherings, there's times where it's like I leave with a pounding headache, and it's like I really believe somebody's energy was not liking my energy.
Can we dispel this right now?
What's up?
Okay, I am a bodyguard.
Mm-hmm.
I was a personal protection officer by trade, right?
Love that.
One of the things that made me the most effective at my job was my ability to discern in judgment, right? I had to know what to do, when to do it, how to do it so that nobody goes to jail, right?
Yeah.
And maintain the happiness of the client all while doing it.
Wow.
So judgment is not necessarily a bad thing.
Correct.
Right?
Right.
I wouldn't even say to use it in moderation.
Yeah.
Right? I would say use it all the time because you will put yourself in some bad decisions if you allow other people to sway your judgment.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree.
So you got to know who you're, like this is a completely, heavily judged zone for me, right? So be on your best behavior.
Right.
Like that's how I feel.
I appreciate and respect
Some people they like to be in a situation where they feel like they're not going to be judged, right? But does that matter if you're not doing wrong stuff?
That is so true. That is so true.
Well, we live in a world now where everybody has an opinion.
This is
you
true.
will be judged.
Yeah.
Right.
You will be. Somebody will have it.
Not everybody's gonna like you.
And
So we
it
might as
is-
well just
and
we might
it's-
as well just all get used to it.
True.
Like
I think so too. And I can't control, I know my narrative. I can't control how someone else receives it. Of course, I would love for them to receive me well and all the things, but I can't control that part.
Sure.
I
right.
it's
Right.
but yeah, you will. Anytime you're putting yourself out there, you will be critiqued.
True.
Right.
The critique is gonna come.
Right. And I told a friend of mine the last time when he was on the show, I believe that growth lies in criticism. Right. Remember I was talking about what my girlfriend just said, you know what I'm saying? She said, well, fiance, let me correct that right now. Probably.
Correct that. Yes. Catch yourself.
But yeah,
Just teasing.
you never know until you know. Right?
Yeah.
But you got to take that step to get there. Those first baby steps, crawling, whatever. You never know until you know.
And I think with that, we do have to be careful with that in terms of, knowing what agrees with your spirit. If it's something, if somebody's being critical and you feel that is something that you can take a look at and become better and and improve that, then fine. But if it's something that doesn't agree with your spirit, then that's okay. People just have their opinion and you just let that be their opinion and it's all good. But
Right. Everything and everybody ain't for everybody.
Amen.
that's it.
Right.
Again,
Right.
I back to the quote, I'm not gonna look at it as a loss. It can be a learning experience. And that's
Yeah.
Right.
And it sort of was like heartbreaking for me for a little while in business and life when I kind of had to realize that like it doesn't make me a bad person because everybody doesn't agree with everything I say or think. I still believe I am a good person and I'm trying every day to be better and have God embrace me, right? But it doesn't matter. You said it the other day, you be the juiciest peach. Someone still don't like peaches. Like,
right.
so instead of spending all that energy and negative thinking to try to please somebody that's probably just naturally not drawn to you, just spend that time for your audience, for your people, your friends, your family.
Yes.
And improving for them.
Yes.
And yourself, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, I think I got time for one more question.
And I do want to do a little book plug too. Final.
Oh, yeah,
Okay. All right. You got me. He's like, stop, Kristyn. I got this.
And this one is a doozy. All right.
Okay.
So, yeah. Whether you guys both running insurance companies, right? I know that in talking with Ken, insurance is
Shout out Ken
Yeah,
Allen.
so Ken, insurance is not the most popular thing when it comes to specific communities and areas, right? What are some of the challenges that you guys have overcome working in this field? Because I hear that it sometimes can be more of a male dominated field. So, what are some of the challenges that you guys overcome, or what are some of the techniques that you guys use to bypass that?
Yeah, I love that question. Okay, so my first insurance agency, and it's still standing, is Think Pink Insurance. Why would I name it Think Pink Insurance? Because I was surrounded by men, and sometimes I didn't like some of the stuff that they said, right? Didn't mean they're bad people. I still love and deal with them to this day, so I'm not saying anything bad, but it's true, it is a very male dominated industry. And so in the beginning, when I was running that agency, I would get literal hate for the color pink. And that was very eye-opening to me. People literally would tell me, like, and I'm just going to be honest, they're usually older men, right? Like that, like, what is pink insurance? And I'm like, oh, it's just an insurance agency, just like Amax. We're the same thing. We do the same thing Amax Insurance does, just our color scheme is pink and black and not yellow and red, right? Like, it's the same thing. No, and then, like, I remember one guy telling me, well, yeah, I need insurance, but I'm not going to buy any insurance for him with the name pink. I'm like, okay, God bless, have a great day. Like, it just, you
Why is that? What's with that?
there's different types of people, right? There's some people that I honestly, okay, I don't know, we're gonna cancel me or anything, but like I honestly think like the color pink sort of like really disturb some people, like, because it's such a positive color, right? And it's so, and so if you're not a positive person, or sometimes it comes from just men automatically knowing that a woman, and there's misogyny is a real thing. Like, I mean, it's not like, and it doesn't mean everybody's that way or anything, but you're gonna run into it, right? So okay, back to your question though. So like with some things that I have been able to overcome is, instead of, which old Kristyn, old Cree from the South, she probably, or she would real quick pop off. Like, there's not really much of a filter between my brain and my mouth, especially when I am mad or angry. So,
Co-sign that.
but I got really good at just realizing God's using me in this moment to just show love. And that's the whole thing. What would Jesus do? Or what would Buddha do? Or what would any peaceful person in the world truly do, right? And in that moment, it's just like, I just tell her, but she laughs at me. I'm like, God bless them. I'm like, God bless them. And I mean it.
She
I don't mean that in a sarcastic way. Like, God bless them and their life and whatever they're going through, right? So anyways, I feel like in this industry, I have been able to turn some of those cynical clients around into my best friends, and that have been my not best friends, but good friends. And they've been in my agency for now 6-7 years, when it started off with them trying to comfort me a little bit, right? And so just having that good, whatever you want to call it, customer service, bedside manner, being able to like really see, and I think that's like why me and you work so well. Everything we do is a ministry, all of it. Serving women that need help, serving people that need car insurance, it's all a ministry. Everybody's going through something.
Yes,
Right.
I agree with that. And, you know, I've been in different industries and things like that before partnering up with Kristyn. And this by far, financial empowerment is one of the greatest ministries that I didn't even know that God was going to call me to. But I believe and know that I have been called to financial empowerment. One of the things that, you know, not so much as like being a woman, like I don't think that I had to necessarily overcome, but I think one of the most things, I guess the thing that I found most challenging to understand, it was why people didn't know or don't see or have a sense of urgency to protect their families.
Huge.
How are you planning on going on a cruise? How are you planning a birthday party? How are you buying the latest bag? How are you driving the latest whip? And then you're going to have to ask somebody for a GoFundMe if somebody were to die. I don't get that. Has been the most difficult thing for me to understand. You don't have insurance. You don't have life insurance, yet you know, you paying $200 for your nails. And let me just say all of this. I love those things too. I love hair. I love that. But let me just tell you, I am not, I am okay with putting on some press-ons and doing whatever I need to do to make sure I got my premiums paid if need be. That's just it. So the mindset was the most difficult thing for me to understand. How? And I'm not saying that, I say that from a loving place and space. Yeah. Not, wanting to look at anyone like, it's not coming from a condescending place, but a place of concern and saying, listen, we got to do better.
Yes.
We have to do better.
Right. I think I would try to answer that question, and I can tell you why people do that. It's because some people, and I'm just gonna say the massive majority of people are selfish in nature, right? And they think that when they're gone, they're gone. That's it, right? They're not alive, so they're not worried about what's happening to anybody else who's still here because they're gone. And another big issue that me and Ken talked about was just not knowing about the stair steps and benefits that actually do come along with protecting yourself in that manner. I think that if more people understood what they could do with the insurance, then they would have more of a forthcoming, willing standpoint to actually take it. So it's one of those things where people don't know enough about it, right? And they don't know enough about it, and it's boring sitting there learning it.
It is, but and it's heavy. It's emotionally heavy. It is. And a lot of times we want to go and run and bury our head in the sand. It is heavy. But I tell you what, when you leave your loved ones with, you're going to either leave them with, and it's going to be a blessing, or it's going to be a burden on them.
Sure.
And do you want to burden them or do you want to bless them? And also living benefits. There are some things, even if you get sick, okay, maybe you don't just die. Maybe you do have insurance. But what if something happens to you and you're still alive? Then what is that going to look like?
Yeah.
Right. And that was one of those things that me and him talked about. It was like, I probably would have been willing to get insurance a lot sooner if I had known about whole life. Right. And the crazy thing about it is that it's people around me that's what they do is insurance. Yeah. Chloe works with the VA. So she's dealing with insurance all day, every day. Right. So it's not like it wasn't right next to me. It's just I didn't take the time to ask. So it's some of it is on me.
Well,
and I'm talking to those of you out there who are in the same boat that I'm in, right? It's something that you need, right? After a certain point in time, the knees gonna get to creaking, that back gonna get to cracking. You're gonna be like, hey man, I don't know what it's gonna be looking like in 2-3 years. So put yourself in the best position to win. All right, sit down, talk to somebody, learn something.
Well, in this day and time, you hear people, and I think what you're speaking to, Charles, is saying that, oftentimes insurance is looked at as like being boring and all that.
Sure.
But let me just tell you,
right? Well,
it's real sexy to know that your family is taken care of. It is. It's real sexy to be financially empowered. It is real sexy to know that you are secure. Mm-hmm. That's very sexy. Coming from a godly woman now saying that is very sexy. So it is one of the sexiest industries ever.
I think that a lot of us, the majority of us, we look at insurance and we say it might be dangerous, right?
True.
And maybe that's because maybe it's just me. Maybe I watched just a little bit too much Jerry Springer, right? Maybe I watched a little bit too much true crime case files, right? Where somebody's always trying to take somebody out for some insurance money. Like
people that think that
way. I think some of us are a little bit more scared. We start hearing that word beneficiary, and we start hearing that word. It's like who's trying to take me out, man? What is this? Like, what's going on?
But then, if you trust yourself enough to trust the right person to be your beneficiary, then you're fine. The trust is not the other person, is do you trust you enough to select the right person?
And how are you going to, I mean, honestly, we have to have this conversation. Like, how are we going to build a legacy if we're not going to talk to the people we love and care about and trust the most about life insurance? What legacy are you building then? You know, you're going to build, I mean, it's not going to be protected once you pass. Like,
everybody want to be a legend. How? What are you doing to be a living legend? I mean, everybody's a legend. 16 years old, they're a legend.
True.
Well, I mean, they got the most streamers on their live stream. You know what I'm saying? They got the flyest bags and the nicest clothes. You know what I'm saying? They driving the fastest cars. You know what I'm saying? Eating the finest of caviar.
Oh.
You know, not caviar. You know what I'm saying? They just eating it because it's expensive.
Yeah, and you know, another thing too, if someone is a solo preneur, or you know, maybe they're a one-man show or a small business or things like that, there's something key person insurance. Do you have that for your business? Yeah. Do you have that if you have business partners? What if something happens? Then what happens to the business partner? What happens to, so it's just so much. It's smart planning, succession planning, things like that. You know, it's just so many things that you know we could share about, and just, you know, just to give some bits and pieces, some information, just so that you can protect yourself and your loved ones.
Right. Okay. We actually have just sped past an hour.
All right.
I did want to give you guys an opportunity to say anything that you would like to say to our audience. We've got quite a few comments. It's apparently there's some people out there who, you know, probably need to be on the show too.
All right. Cool.
You know,
Okay.
I think that, you know, anybody who's willing to say something should be listened to, because there's so many people who are fighting themselves quietly, secretly, minimizing themselves, right? I think everybody should have an opportunity to speak at least once.
At least once.
Right. So, Miss Kristyn, we'll start with you, right? We always enjoy having you on. Hopefully you and Miss Dr. Skye would be willing to be a mainstay and come back and see us.
Oh man, what time this week? We'll be here. No, thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much, Charles, like for this platform, just for your we're just talking about how professional. I think we actually mentioned that earlier on the show, but like just your professionalism, your everything that you pour into this is just greatly appreciated. But my last final note is get this book. The system was never designed to teach you how to build wealth, right? Like there's no system trying to make us, you know, the top 1% of the country, right? Nobody's teaching. You have to want that on purpose. You have to want that. You have to seek the knowledge. You have to seek it. And so if you're looking for a sign, if you are a sister and you are looking for a sign, what steps should I take to just push myself a little bit further today and then the next day and the next day? Please get this book. It's an amazing book. We're going to start in April 1st at 7 p.m. Central, reading this book on a Zoom call and actually going through it with people that join the Zoom calls. So if you buy this book from this podcast today that you're watching, then you can join those calls for free. So please order the book. You'll get an email after your order with the Zoom details, with Dr. Skye and I actually going through the book with you in a group setting, and you know, hopefully segueing that to the women's nonprofit and any women that want to become members. It's $8 a month. That $8 a month, our goal is 125,000 members. That'll give us $1 million membership fees a month. What will we do with $1 million a month as an organization? We want to open a women's facility that offers a career center, a homeschool / daycare, a shelter, a kitchen where you can eat. And so that this is the goal of our organization. This is why we want to raise money and support. We're also, shout out, having a vendor fair on May the 9th, the day before Mother's Day. It's in North Richland Hills. So just find us on all the ways that I'm sure Charles will have on here. Find us online, shoot us an email, whatever, and we'll get you more information. But get this book. If you're looking for a sign, this is it. You don't need another sign.
All right. And you know I will. You know what I'm saying? We gotta make sure that we give you guys some news you can use, right? You gotta take the time to listen now. I can lead the horse to water. I can't make you drink. All right. And Dr. Skye, would you like to impart some wisdom and knowledge on us before we get out of here?
Yes, absolutely. And just like President Kristyn mentioned, she gave information at the nonprofit. Listen, we would encourage people to get the book, but I also want to say this. If you can't even get the book right now, but one of the things that I would ask you to do is to go to the nonprofit website. We want to pour into you. We want to give you information. We want to fellowship with you. We want sisterhood with you. We want all the things. So, we want to connect. Reach out to us. I tell you, you would just absolutely enjoy. If you love having a lot of positive women around you. And let me just say this, we have members from all walks of life. We have entrepreneur women. We have mothers. We just have it's so diverse, very diverse in multiple states. We're just about on all coast. And so, just go to our site. You can find information about the book there, but also just go on there, plug in, become a member, and just let us be a blessing to you. Let us serve you. We definitely want to be of service. So, that's really all that I have. And Charles, again, thank you to you and your amazing studio is just phenomenal. We love coming here and being a part of all this awesomeness.
Yes.
that you have going on here.
You're awesome.
So yeah, this was fun.
I definitely enjoy having you guys, and you guys are always welcome. So yeah. With that said, guys, this has been another episode of Dallas Spotlight here at Bodyguard TV. All right. Appreciate you guys taking the time to spend some with us. And I'm out.
Peace.